All right, episode 2,
Welcome back,
Dadletics podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Smith, and
Pat McSweeney.
Dr. Pat. Let's not forget that. Episode 1 went well.
Yeah,
Got a lot of good feedback, so figured let's go episode 2 and
keep running it.
keep it rolling.
Yeah,
Let's talk Father's Day.
yeah,
How was that?
great. Signed up for an impromptu sprint triathlon, so we can talk about that here in a little bit. But that's how the day started. So yeah, did the race. Family came out. The best cheering section ever. They always are out there. And in that type of race, it's so hard because I see them for like 2 seconds at a time. So they drive a long way. I want to say thank you to start off with that.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the family members and friends and things like that come out to races to see your loved ones for very short amounts of time. But yeah, so that's how the day started, and then we just hung out. My boys, they're 3 and 1, got me water guns from the dollar store for my Father's Day gift, which was amazing.
Solid.
So we had a little water gun fight, and then just had good food, good dinner, and hung out. It was a perfect day.
Perfect.
How about you guys?
We were all things baseball.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
we had CP1 tournament time. The Hooks kept winning. They were rocking Dadletics member Marty. He was throwing him in there. We're hitting him. So we kept advancing. I think it was Friday, Saturday, and then into Sunday. So that was nice. And then T-ball as well.
Nice.
So we had 2 games each day. But I do have to highlight the gift that I got, which was a Breville Touch espresso machine from
Cheers.
my wife. Shout out
For those watching on video.
And so I've been dialing in a long black or short Americano. So we were just talking about this. We'd go to Starbucks, I'd get an Americano, and it's like, I feel like I was just drinking coffee. I'm like, well, I'm paying extra. And then I found these long blacks or short Americanos, which is just half the water, from my understanding.
Quite good.
So it makes the espresso stronger.
Yeah.
So
that's what we're after.
Yeah. And so we'd be, we try to limit Starbucks to Wednesdays and Saturdays just because it gets so expensive. So we were typically drinking pot coffee, but we'd been talking about espresso and just letting the influencers, we've been speaking into the foam so the influencers would ramp up. And finally, she got it for me, and we've been using it every day, and that long black is so good.
I walked in today, it smelled absolutely delicious, like a coffee shop.
And I've been wanting to use it on a reel, and I just posted the Dadletics reel, and I had to get a shot of the double espresso in there.
Perfect.
So got the day started. Little afternoon pick me up.
Nice.
And then Element, if you want to sponsor us,
yeah,
Pat was
shot out.
So generous of bringing me some sodium, some electrolytes after this morning's grueling workout.
Talk about that more for sure today.
Let's talk about it. I think
that first.
The highlight, yeah, let's get into it. I think the highlight though of today was we had 12 in the picture, but 15 guys show up this morning, which was definitely a record.
Yeah.
And that's not counting 2 of our staples of Alex, who couldn't make it, and Mike Gold got it in.
And Breek.
And Breek, yeah. So we could have had almost 17 guys, but nonetheless, solid group.
Yeah.
It was interesting. We had Keel, I believe was his name.
I think so.
Showed up today, and he found us on Instagram at 5 a.m.
This morning.
Supposedly what he said, and popped in at 5:30 and joined the group. And then he had a flight back to Houston at 10 a.m. Nobody.
Hilarious.
Yeah. No one knew who he was. Unfortunately, yeah, shout out. Unfortunately, it seemed like maybe he came a little too hot and didn't quite last. But yeah.
So for those that didn't listen to episode 1, today this was our 1-year anniversary of Dadletics. So the first we're going to call it the first workout of Dadletics, was death by 400, death by quarters. So the goal being somewhere around your 5K pace, maybe a little bit faster, but picking a pace that was challenging to run 400 reps at with 1 minute of standing rest in between, and to take that as far as you could go without missing a rep. And missing was if you were off by more than a second for 2 reps in a row, then you got capped, or that was the end of the workout basically. But that's what we did this morning. Yeah, had a huge crew for it. How'd it go for you?
It went well. It went well. So we did. I did look back. We did this on June 26th of last year. So again, it timed up with the 1 year, or what we deemed 1 year. The workout itself went well. So 5K for me should have been around a minute 30 pace.
When did you run the Arnold Pump and Run?
That was March.
Okay.
And that was like a 6:02 pace.
Okay.
But knowing that I'm a little bit more stronger anaerobically on these shorter, we knew I probably needed to go a little bit faster. For context, this time last year, I averaged for 20 reps a 133.
Mm-hmm.
Started at 138. We worked our way down to 133 on that. I know you and who else was?
I think Danny was there.
Danny,
Mike was there.
Yeah, you and Danny were running that as well with me. So I was thinking 128s. You kept pumping 125s all week.
Yeah.
Pumping it. I thought as if that was going to be maybe a little too fast, but I wanted to ease into it. I felt 128. Again, that would be under 5K pace. I don't see myself running that for a 5K right now, but
that'd be quick.
But that's started with 128s. You were on my hip pretty much
as long as I could
the entire time. And we wanted to kind of negative split as we went every 4 or 5 reps. Eventually, I think I posted my first 5 reps. I averaged about a 128.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 10 reps, so 6 through 16, I was 124.
Mm-hmm.
And feeling pretty good. And then the last 4, I hammered some, I think 119 average.
Quick.
Finished with a 116. I was hurting. 17 through 20, I was breathing. Those last 50 meters, I was huffing and puffing. That we haven't done that in a while on a track, so it was good to. It felt race breathing, which was good, a good feeling. Averaged out to be 124. So you
was right.
You were probably right.
Yeah, and I like all week. Of course, we're talking about the workout and pushing Tyler. Like I follow him on the track every Thursday. We run on Monday or Tuesday together. Like I know how fit he is. So I wanted to give him an objective push to get what he could out of it, and yeah, crushed it, dude. Like it was fun, and I tried to stick with you as long as I could. And
at the same time, though,
yeah, it was good for me. I mean, I think last year I went 16 reps, maybe due to, I don't know. It was tough. 16 reps, I think I did last year, around that same average, 133, 134.
Yeah, you guys were right with me.
And then this year I got 18, and I ended up averaging about 126. So we ran probably the first 13 or 14 pretty much together.
I let you take the lead 1 rep.
I got 1 rep in. That was good.
Slowed down, so I had to take it back over.
Nobody was leading. Nobody was distinctly leading that rep, but yeah, we were at like 125-ish in those middle rep ranges, and then you dropped a 122, and that was like that was the end of me for I think I got 2 at 122, and then it was like a 123. So I was like, all right, I can live with that. Next was a 124. Like, all right, I got to make this next one, and it was a 125. Like legs just started going. Like that last 100 meters or so definitely started to feel it, but
100%. First 100 felt great, and then last 50 for me was starting to get rough.
That minute rest definitely, like, I think that's why I was pushing you to be so aggressive, is because that minute rest does give you, especially early on. Like if you're saying, theoretically it's around a threshold-ish effort and you can recover pretty quickly, almost at 1-to-1 rest. I mean, you're ended up being 128 to a minute, rest. So it's substantial early on, and then it starts to creep up on you.
It is, and I think that's why we've seen it's interesting that we've actually seen this workout from an elite, and then also I guess Floberg, who's,
Yeah.
if anybody follows the running community knows Floberg, BPN athlete. He just ran it 2 days ago or yesterday.
Yeah,
I think Wednesday.
I think so.
But the elite was at 45 seconds, and Floberg I think kept his rest of 50 seconds. I think he was running like 117 on 50 seconds rest.
Yeah.
So I think to your point, the minute rest, it definitely adds up as you see the elites kind of even take that rest down even lower.
Yeah,
Just because they're running faster too.
for sure.
But I think we got the stimulus we wanted.
Totally.
I pushed it maybe a little too hard, but at the same time, it's anniversary run.
Yeah.
Wanted to pump the tempo a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was, and like you said last week, it's cool. Hopefully, we keep doing this every year, so then we can see the progression or non-progression.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on what life throws at you.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, we showed up, and a great group showed up. Did you hear anybody else's times?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of people I think were like surprised themselves. Like I know Marty for sure was really happy. He got all 20 reps, and
He was ripping 145s.
no, he was lower than that.
Oh.
I think he was in the 130s, and then he dropped like a couple like 130 evens and a 127, I think, for his last rep. So he had some more in the tank, I think.
Gotta love Marty. I showed up. So Pat and I, and sometimes a couple other guys get there around 5 and get some extra miles in, trying to get closer to like 8 for the day. And I rolled in about 10 till 5 and walk on the track, and Marty's just out there ripping push-ups.
Classic.
So he's been out there since 4:30. He's like, I can't risk any hammies, calves. And I said, I get it,
Getting
man.
it in.
I get it. So I think he was out there for a good 2 hours as we were.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I think he said that him and his wife are trying to determine if they're going to be doing a full or half, which is cool that we've come into a little bit. Backstory about Marty is Marty and I became friends through our kids. His youngest son, Luke, is going to be first grader, and my Stetson is a year below him. So we got on the same teams together, and I've got to know Marty. Well, then Pat, which we didn't know, and I became buddies, and I posted a picture of us, and Marty's like, hey, how do you know Pat? I'm like, well, how do you know Pat?
Yeah.
And funny story, you guys
we played, I think that it goes back to like, I don't know how old we were, 7 or 8, maybe. Played soccer together, and then we played baseball together, travel baseball. His dad was our coach from the time we were 10 all the way through high school. And then we went to high school together. So we go way back.
Yeah, good dude.
Like one of my longest standing friends for sure.
He's a competitor. You can tell that it doesn't sit well that we're faster than him, I don't think.
Yes. No.
And I feel like he's like hooked. He's talked about not drinking for the last 3 weeks. Like he's trying to get dialed in and see if he can catch up to us.
Which is, I mean, that's what this is all about. Like it's just fun to get together and push ourselves and each other, and like, I mean, to see how many ever people, 14-ish people out there this morning, just like giving it their best effort. That's what this is all about. Like that's why this started, and
I think majority have a fall race now, which is even better.
Yeah, quite a few.
So, which is great. I believe mostly everybody's running halves or fulls.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. We'll talk about. Definitely want to get into like, this was our last bridge week, so to speak, before the half and full training plan kicks in next week. So definitely want to talk through that a little bit.
I say let's get into it.
Yeah.
So 3-week bridge is done. Went from 10K to that. Next is fall full marathon, half marathon, 16-week block, biggest block of the year. Trying to think if our 5K for the Arnold was 12.
It was 12, yeah.
So that was our biggest. So this is definitely our biggest yet. I don't know. Did we do 16 last? I would assume we did 16 last year.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Because it started around the same time.
And it was more half marathon focused,
Yeah.
just because you and I.
That's what we were running.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody was even training with us that ran the full.
I don't know. I don't know.
Alex was.
He did run the full, yeah.
Alex
the fall.
run the full, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you listen to last week, I am doing my first full marathon this fall in Columbus. Pat will be doing the half marathon, both chasing some pretty lofty goals. And so the focus on Thursdays coming up now will be specifically for full marathon, half marathon, but different at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Two different races, obviously. One's double the one.
Quite a bit longer. Yeah.
And the time you spend in different heart rate zones differs tremendously as well. Yeah. And so the focus has to be spread out differently. So what we're going to be doing for the next 16 weeks, give or take the taper weeks, is we're going to be bouncing back and forth between critical velocity workouts and threshold workouts, which we were able to introduce critical velocity during
10K block.
10K block.
Mm-hmm.
Threshold, we've kind of haven't touched a ton of it.
You did it before Cap City, like in the spring, which I think was a big, like,
on Thursdays or on
that was Tuesdays.
My Tuesdays, yeah. So I'll get into that, but I don't think as a group we've really gotten into thresholds much.
No,
I feel like the focus has always really been on VO2 max, critical velocity,
more high end stuff. Yeah,
and we've touched maybe a couple threshold workouts.
Yeah.
So reason behind critical velocity is we're going to alternate them every other week is the plan. And the critical velocity is we don't want to lose our build up VO2 max, right? So we want to touch it, but when you're pushing VO2 max, you just you have a higher risk of possibly injury, recovery. And so for these races, it's just quite not as important to really push into the VO2 max versus when we were doing the 5K, the mile. But we also don't want to lose it because that continues to raise our ceiling. Threshold is, I would say, the next important because it's getting you comfortable running harder, right? It's that 40 to 60 minutes of uncomfortably hard pace. It is, in my opinion, the number one goal for half marathon running. So you touch base. So when I programmed my half marathon, I had a lot of success. I would be on Tuesdays, I would throw in threshold work, long threshold work within my bigger. So if I did a 10-mile run, I would have a 2x3 at threshold or 3x2 at threshold.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is because that puts you in zone 4, and pretty much, in my opinion, half marathon's all zone 4.
Yeah, it builds into that for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so just because you're looking, specifically for me, I was under 90 minutes. That's kind of where you have to be to race that.
Yeah.
And that continues to build that up. For marathon, it's slightly different. It's kind of that zone 3, that gray zone that nobody really trains for. That's the most important. I'm actually going to be, I just listened to a podcast yesterday. An easy way to get some threshold in for marathon is my Tuesdays, instead of doing the 2 to 3 miles, I'm going to do like 5 minutes of threshold pace. And that's it.
Yeah.
Which will be, I think I want to touch it, but also not have these big blocks because.
Are you going to do multiple reps of that, or what's your plan?
Just one. Possibly build on it.
Okay.
It might be opposite of the critical velocity weeks.
Yeah.
But for me in marathon training, so if threshold is number one priority, half marathon, in my opinion. For marathon, for me specifically, and probably everybody else listening to this, it is volume and long run. That being the most important. So I don't want to take away. So for half marathon, because my volume was lower, if the long run wasn't as important, I could then fit in a really hard Tuesday threshold work come back on Thursday, hit some critical velocity, and then get a decent amount of a long run in. Where marathon, it is long run most important on a Saturday. Wednesday or Thursday. There's going to be some weeks I'm just going to have to do it on a Wednesday to give my time to recover from the track. Hit that, but then everything else really has to be recovery runs because now I'm also getting into some really big volume that I need to recover from.
Yeah, and I think volume too for you is going to be the biggest thing because I mean, like we're talking about your first week of marathon training, like you're going to be hitting your biggest mileage that you've ever hit, really, and like as far as a miles per week standpoint, and that's a new stimulus for you that will help build. I mean, it'll help your lactate threshold, it'll help your VO2 max, like it'll help all of those things. Plus, just like the muscular endurance of time on your feet for the marathon, which is where, in my experience and talking to a lot of folks who have run marathons, it's never your lungs. Like it's always your legs
because you're in that zone 3.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not a metabolically demanding pace. Like for you to run, theoretically, your marathon pace should be fairly comfortable.
Sure.
It's doing it for 3+ hours for a lot of people. That becomes challenging, and it's that muscular fatigue. And so that volume and just, for lack of a better term, like beating up your legs on a week-to-week basis is going to be a big stimulus for you. That's going to be super helpful. But
yeah,
I think these threshold and critical velocity workouts for you will be good to, again, not lose your top end and keep some of that speed, which is that's your strength as it is, but to at least touch those things on a week-to-week basis, I think will help make marathon pace feel even more comfortable, even easier.
100%. Because just thinking, obviously, I would love to go sub 3, which we've talked about. It's a lofty goal, but again, if I can absorb the work, I don't think it's crazy.
No, based on everything else you've done,
I'm thinking I'm probably like maybe 90% of the way there.
You're probably saying like the volume of work and like the ability to sustain that pace for 26 miles is going to be
so
your biggest.
To go sub 30 or sub 3, the pace has to be a 6:50.
Yeah.
And so
you're fast enough to do that, right? Like for a shorter distance.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
For context, the half marathon of 1:27:30 that I just did, that was a 6:40 pace. So that threshold, I want to keep touching that threshold because the more and more comfortable I can be at, say, 6:25 pace, right, for these efforts, then the more comfortable I'm going to be at 6:50.
Or faster.
Yeah. Correct. So that's the goal. But again, at the same time, I'm going to be not only touching the volume, but these long runs are going to be brand new to me as well.
Yeah.
I 16 miles is the most I've ever done. Granted, I did 4 of them consecutively during the half marathon prep, which was maybe overkill, but I also knew at the time I wanted to build. So let's go back. So you and I are not arguing, but kind of got into a little debate on my mileage week 1. So I did, at the end of the half marathon prep, I did 50 miles, 52, 54. That's the most I've ever done. The plan then was to build up to that so then I could continue to build in this marathon prep. The last 3 weeks I've done, I think, 34, 40, 45. Currently I have 56 miles dialed up week 1. And we've kind of gone back and forth. Is that too much? But my argument, and I think you kind of agreed on, is because I don't have 3 quality workouts in a week anymore, because I'm pretty much eliminating Tuesday's threshold, which was a lot, that maybe the 56 isn't as crazy.
Yeah. Physiologically, the stress that you're putting on from volume versus like faster pace stuff, both are taxing. But from like an injury standpoint, I see way more people getting hurt by running too fast too often versus jogging for more mileage. I mean, the volume can definitely play a role, but I mean, the best example I could give you is like if you go out and walk for a long period of time, it's not as muscularly demanding as if you are jogging. It's not as muscularly demanding as if you are running fast. So intensity is really where I see folks uh, get tripped up from an injury standpoint. And I think for you, I mean, as I was thinking about that conversation, you've handled volume up to this point. You've handled uh, speed at that volume up to this point. So I don't think we've even close to seeing what your ceiling of that capacity is. So I think in that sense, and the fact that you're taking those Tuesdays away, I think it does make sense that 56 miles should be very reasonable for you in that first week.
I think it's something you just have to continue to take inventory, pivot each week. The nice thing is, this is my own program.
Yeah.
Which it's based on a lot of different programs. Jeff Cunningham is kind of...
You've done your homework.
I've done my homework. Yes. It's kind of a blend of, but also what I think is going to work for me. I mean, all my half marathons I've programmed too. Mm-hmm. Nothing has been a copy and paste. It is what I feel is best for me. So the nice thing is I enjoyed the 3-week build, 1 week back off weeks, mm-hmm. and then continue to go that route. I think puts it into a micro progression for me. And it's like, okay, 3 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time. So I think that's going to help big time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, knowing how you felt throughout that entire half marathon build where you were putting in some big weeks and big Tuesday workouts and coming back Thursday and I felt pretty good.
Yeah.
And then being able to hit pretty long runs like on the weekend, like that to me, and I think your strength background helps a ton with that too. Like your ability to absorb that force and that impact and those types of things helps a ton. Like you are very durable when it comes to being as a runner. So I think in that sense, like you have more wiggle room than somebody who didn't have that foundation to work from.
Yeah, and just some background on that. This isn't year one of me running or building into this mileage. This is fall of 2023 I started, and I've tracked every week of running since then, and it has been a natural,
super steady. Yeah.
Yes, I've never done this. It's not a couch to marathon. It is continuing to build upon each block is really what I've done. Because I was joking how I felt as if like this is a back off week of 45 miles.
Yeah.
You know, a year and a half ago when I was prepping for Cap City, it's like I hit 40 once and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is the most I've ever done.
Yeah.
And so that's why for me, I feel like I'm building off last block, mm-hmm. right? I hit that 54. Now I'm ready for another 56.
Yeah, you're not starting over.
and I do think the strength backgrounds, again, for context for people that may not know, I mean, during COVID, I got up to 240 pounds. I was powerlifting and rowing heavily. Mm-hmm. At that time, I had a 420 back squat, a 550 deadlift, and I think I benched 225 for 21 reps. So, and then I continued to carry that over. And then I think at one point, 2 falls ago, I think I ran an hour 36 fall marathon or half marathon and deadlifted 500 the next day. We're within, 5 days of each other. So I had this huge strength background. Mm-hmm. And I think that does help with the durability.
Yeah.
Where most runners get caught up, and you probably see it all the time. And we were talking about that this morning with like this whole hybrid. And it's like, well, how can you have all this muscle and then be such a good runner? And it's like, well, no, like these hybrid athletes are coming from a muscle building phase. You can't run 50, in my opinion, I don't think you can run 50 miles and continue to add muscle.
Yeah.
I would agree. I don't think. So it's like if you commit to...
Maybe there's somebody out there.
If you commit to 6 to 8 months of pure strength, gaining muscle, which comes with fat at the time. And again, that's what I was up to 240. And all I've done is just I've slimmed down. Gaining muscle is hard, maintaining muscle is easy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been able to do is maintain. Strength numbers probably aren't what they were.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can look muscular and now be able to run what I want to run.
Mm-hmm.
But also counterintuitively, like I know I have to continue to get smaller. That's another lever I can pull.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have much fat to lose. So now I'm wanting to lose some muscle.
Yeah.
So now I have this whole debate like, okay, what is it? Is chasing certain times worth an aesthetic route of losing some muscle? But
yeah, and I think we've talked about this a lot, but I think for you the biggest lever right now for you to pull is volume. Like we built up to 50 miles, 54 miles for the half, and I think you still have some room to grow there. That doing that without focusing on losing mass or anything like that, like you're gonna continue to improve and you're gonna continue to maintain that strength. Like it's a super hot debate is in endurance sports. Like the prevailing wisdom before was like, well, small is fast and or light is fast, I guess, and it's a double-edged sword. I mean, you see it in running, you see it in sports like triathlon. Like there's a lot of people are bucking that trend as far as like uh, being strong and having a body that can continue to absorb and tolerate the training is really the biggest key.
Yeah.
There's some physics. I mean, like if you're cycling uphill, like there's a watts per kilogram component to that, but
it is tricky.
Yeah.
Because then it's also like to lose weight, you have to be in a deficit. But we also know the research shows deficits can lead to injuries and stress fractures and they say, I mean, technically you should gain weight during a marathon prep, right? If you're truly fueling properly.
Yeah.
It is interesting. And so that's where
it's maintaining.
I've been trying to maintain. The goal for a marathon is to increase. I've been slowly, not only volume of running, but slowly increasing volume of carbs. Because I don't want it to be week one and increase my carbs, 100 grams. So I've been slowly increasing that because some of these long run days, I'm going to be pushing over 500 grams of carbs easily.
Yeah.
That's a conversation I definitely want to have for another time is nutrition.
Yeah, we can dive into that.
Because that's a whole rabbit hole of what that conversation looks like. But I'm going to go over just kind of what my week one does look like.
Yeah, for sure.
Which starts Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We're there, finally.
Looking forward to it.
These last 3 weeks we've talked about, I feel like I've just been like down, depressed, not training. I joke that I was like, I haven't been on a long run because it's only been 10 miles instead of 12. But we're here. Week one starts. So my week one prep is going to be Monday easy run. And again, I want to highlight this because I know there's guys out there that will benefit from this. Make your easy days easy. What
are you going to run? What's your normal pace for those? So your goal marathon pace is 6:50.
Call it that. Yep.
What are you going to run your easy runs at?
So my easy runs, typically if I'm around an 8:30 minute mile, my average heart rate's around a 115, 116. In my opinion, that zone 1 feels very easy.
Yeah.
That's easy to me.
Yeah.
So that'll be my easy. I mean, there's some professionals that that's what their easy is as well. So maybe I'm pumping a little too hot. I would say I usually start those runs around 8:45s, 8:50s. Sometimes when we're running, we're 8:50s.
Yeah.
If I catch some hills, it'll start to pull it down as I loosen up. I pull it down. And I'll say, you maybe could add 10 seconds to that too, depending on. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I have to be at 8:30. That just typically is where I end up around 8:30, 8:35. So
I think that's a good point because I think people that I've seen, and I know I was this way too, like fret about what their easy pace is. Like they call it easy. Like, well, I'm running, 8 something or 9 something. Easy is a feeling. you
It's a
should
feeling.
you
Yep.
should be like, yep, I can. We have full blown. We're talking just like we're talking right now when we're on these runs, and like if you can't do that, that's problematic. Um, and we can talk about that, why that is at some point. Um, but yeah, I think I just wanted to highlight that because I think you do a really good job of maintaining that easy and not getting too attached to one pace. Um, so then your quality days can be
Yeah, right. Well, that
more,
days it's
you
about
get the most out of
it's
that.
about the 8 miles for the week,
Mm-hmm.
not what was my pace for that? Because again, that pace isn't winning a workout.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a race. So yeah. So 8 easy on Monday, and then I'm gonna probably double down with lower, uh, which is gonna be more supportive.
Strength, lower body
Yeah,
strength.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
lower body strength. This will be more supportive. Again, it's I've slowly gotten there because again, coming from a powerlifting background, when I first started doing some lifting with running, I'm like, I'm not even strength. It didn't even
Yeah.
feel like I was strength training. I mean, I used to, run my head through the wall for an hour, just destroying my muscles, and now I'm 30 minutes, and I'm like, I don't even feel like I really got anything out of this, right?
Yeah.
But it is going to be, and we've talked about this. It's more supportive. It's going to be you recommend keeping posterior chain. So deadlift is kind of the main set, 3x5, 5x3, whatever that looks like, maybe a 7 RPE, nothing to max, some prehab stuff, isometrics, calves.
Yep. Yeah.
That single leg.
Fairly
Squats.
fairly straightforward though. I mean, like just hitting the big muscle groups and movement patterns, and
Really, the goal is not to be sore the next set.
yeah, for sure.
So that's the goal for the next 16 weeks with that lower and what that lower strength looks like.
So you're coupling that on Monday.
That's Monday.
Yep.
Tuesday will be a medium long run. That's going to be probably anywhere from 10 to 12 miles. I'm hoping to add in possibly some threshold, some strides, maybe hills, something along those lines. Wednesdays for the front end of the program, I'm trying to do as many Thursday workouts with the crew as possible, but those may end up being on Wednesdays. We'll just have to see. Because I'm wanting to do some bigger intervals that we just can't fit in that Thursday morning. So Wednesday, say I'm doing a Thursday workout. Wednesdays will be another 8 easy.
Yeah.
And then I'll couple that with my upper body, which I'm probably going to maybe push a little bit more just because I can, just to keep that aesthetics.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't. But also, I just want to stay strong up top.
Yeah.
The Arnold pump and run neck is something I enjoy, and it's something I really want to compete in, and I want to keep that muscular endurance. So to be honest, even if it's just push-ups, a lot of push-ups or just some time under the bar is kind of the goal with that.
Yeah.
Thursdays will be our critical velocity threshold, 8-9 miles. Friday will be another recovery after that, 8 miles. I'll probably throw in, I always like throwing in some body weight upper as well with the push-ups, pull-ups, simple things like that. Again, depending on how I'm feeling, knowing that the next day is the most important day. Saturday's long run, starting at 15 miles, week 1, easy. 16, I think some steady, which is slower than marathon pace, but faster than easy with like the last couple miles. And that progressed to like 17, back off week, and then week 5, I believe it's another 17. But I start adding some marathon pace.
Nice. Will you do that weekly then, the marathon pace, or will you alternate like an easy long run with marathon pace long run?
I believe it's alternating.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
And I have some big rehearsal ones week 6 or 7, I believe I had like an 18 with maybe 2 by 3 miles at marathon pace.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say rehearsal, is I've already talked to the wife. I have to use a hall pass, but I want to simulate race day.
Yeah.
So I want to dial in exactly when I'm waking up, what I'm consuming, gels, hydration, and run that.
Yeah.
And I believe I have 3 of those programs.
Nice.
To dial it in.
Yeah.
And again, we'll get into the nutrition because we talk volume, we talk long run, but that third missing link in marathon is nutrition.
It's almost everybody.
And I've never experienced. I'm going off of what I've learned and the knowledge I've gained. I have a plan, and I'll talk about that plan in a different conversation. But that's very important and something I want to dial in because it's a controllable.
Yeah, totally.
I don't want to lose.
And one that's usually like an afterthought for most people, I would say.
Right. And it's like you can't control weather. You can't control. I don't know what else can't you control. I know weather's one of them.
Yeah.
But I feel like nutrition it's a controllable. So again, control the controllables.
Yeah.
So again, just want to highlight, if you're doing the marathon, keep your easy days easy. Have to be easy. It's your quality days.
I would say not just for a marathon either.
Well, yeah, but it's like you got to make your hard days hard.
Yeah.
And make your easy days easy.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it with that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I raced last weekend. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's.
So yeah, this was a last minute sign up. I signed up on Friday of last week for this race that was on Sunday. The backstory is I'm training for age group nationals for the sprint triathlon, which is in August, first weekend in August. So I had planned to do, there's another sprint race this weekend, but then we got my son's t-ball schedule, and his first game was the morning of the race at 9 a.m. So like, that's not gonna fly, not gonna work. So we just looked like last minute, was like, okay, what other races are happening in the next few weeks? And it was like the Dayton Sprint Triathlon or Dayton Multi-Sport Festival.
And how many weeks out are you?
6 weeks now.
You're 6 weeks
from like today, time of recording.
So why did you feel like you needed to race?
I didn't want I never want like an A race to be the first time I'm doing that especially for a sprint. Like if it's a longer distance, like you're not going to run a marathon before the marathon. But for like a sprint distance, transitions matter a ton. Just getting comfortable racing again and knowing what that feels like, I feel like is really important.
So pretty much wanting to make sure what you can control.
Yeah, totally.
Dial in that.
Yeah. My nutrition, transitions, like moving in and out of transition as quickly as possible, like getting that down. Even like night before routine and nutrition and stuff like that, I think is all very helpful to practice before the day of. In a sprint, I mean, is a little over an hour of work. Like for this right now, like where I'm at, that's a big effort, but it's not, something that's going to bury me for weeks at a time. So yeah, I felt the need to get a race in beforehand. Was going to do this weekend, didn't work out, so I jumped in last weekend. My wife was like, "Yep, go for it." Like, I guess that's how we're spending Father's Day morning. Like, happy Father's Day, which I was excited for. I love to race, and
that's when
yeah,
your true Dadletics is. I joke all the time, like. They're like, "How'd you get out to run?" I'm like, "I had to use a hall pass."
Mm-hmm.
How'd you race that? Hall pass.
Yep.
I pick and choose for sure. Races.
Yeah. So I did this race last year. It's at Buck Creek State Park, which is basically Dayton, Springfield area of Ohio. They have a sprint. They have a mini, which is like a super sprint. And then they have like an Olympic. And I think they have even up to like a third Ironman at that race. They have a lot going on. There's like 13 races that day. They even have a little kids race, which was the first time that they did that. But
cool.
So for future reference,
the boys
might be jumping into that at some point. But yeah, so went in with no expectations. Like, I mean, I always have some expectations of myself, but
Well, put it in. I want to know because again, I see your swimming times and it's like pace per yard or
yeah,
something like that, and it's like I can't comprehend
sure.
any of it. So I'm curious to know your swim time. So each modality,
Hmm.
what you did last year,
Hmm.
what you did today, and what are you wanting to get to in 6 weeks?
Yeah,
Is that easy to answer?
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So I did the same race last year, so it's easy to go based off of that. Um, this swim course is interesting. So it is 750 meters is what the swim is. Um, but at this particular race, the timing map for the swim is basically up this big, like you get out of the water and then you run up this big hill and then your time stops for the
Ah,
swim. so
sounds amazing.
so like your transition one time seems like pretty short, but the time from the water to basically transition area is all counted as your swim. So I think I ended up at like 14 minutes almost on the dot this year, 14:01 maybe. And last year was just over 15 minutes. So
Cool.
same course, same swim.
Perfect. You just ran up the hill faster.
Yeah, basically it was just
So it wasn't the swim. It's
all
just
speed work. So it all is accounted for. So yeah, so gained a little bit of time there, which was great.
what do you want to do in 6 weeks?
My hope is to be under 12. So for the swim part, I stopped my watch like once I got out of the water.
Okay.
I was like 12:20 something, I
Okay.
think. I want to be under 12 minutes
Okay.
for the 750 swim
Okay.
is my goal. And I'll talk about like what my training, how I'm going to try to get there here in a little bit. But so yeah, so that did that. Um, Transition went pretty well. Lost my timing chip taking my wetsuit off, so that was interesting. I thought it got stuck in my wetsuit. It was actually like 5 feet behind me. Um, that's the things that you have to worry about in a triathlon. Is just
So what'd you do?
I just grabbed it. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay,
Yeah. No, I was like digging around my wetsuit, losing valuable time,
Yeah.
and then turned around. It was right there, so that was good.
Okay.
But yeah, so got on the bike relatively unscathed. Um, and the bike has always been relative to the field has been my weakness. Um, for context, I mean, the one thing I don't like about triathlon is that unfortunately the quality of your bike matters a ton. Um, you can buy a lot of speed in a triathlon, which is unfortunate. Like I love running and swimming too, to some degree. Both are very pure sports. Like it's you.
Yep.
There's shoes. There's things that do make a difference, but for the most part, it's you. Um, but I was riding up until like end of last year. Was riding a aluminum triathlon bike that I had bought in 2019 off Craigslist. That was way too small for me. So I was just rocking that and have done 4 half Ironmans, a full Ironman on it. Like it's been a noble steed, so to speak. But it was time. Like my wife was like, you've done a lot of these now. It doesn't seem like you're going to stop anytime soon. Like maybe get yourself a new bike. So that was all I needed to hear. So upgraded the bike, but yeah, so got out on the bike and felt great from the start. So for context, last year I was just over 40 minutes on the bike. It's a sprint distances are always a little funky. Like a true sprint is 12 and a half miles or 12.4 miles, I think it is. This is closer to 14, like 13.8, 13.9 for this course specifically. So it was a little over 40 minutes. This year was 38, 30-ish, I think. So pretty substantial. It was about a mile per hour difference.
Yeah.
Which was great. Like
was that
felt
about
good.
21?
21 and a half, I think is what I ended up averaging. Yeah. So which that was for me was good. I mean, Strava was loving it. It was PRs across the board from
I
like
saw that. Yeah.
5 miles, 10 miles, 20K. So that was it was a good ride for me. And honestly, with this race, what I was trying to shoot for was like to push the bike hard, and to see what I could do from a run standpoint off of that. So did that. It was cool because usually in a try, like I get out of the water fairly like close to the front. Um, People are just passing me on the bike like one by one, and then catch some people on the run. Um, this was a cool race because I don't think I got past a single time on the bike, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And tracked a ton of people down that were in front of me. So yeah, it was cool. And then
So should we start a GoFundMe for another, like, a
yeah,
bigger, better
I need
bike?
a tri helmet, or I need an aero helmet. I need a disc wheel.
All
There's
right.
all sorts of things.
Anybody out there, if you want to support, they'll put your name on
Yeah,
as advertisement.
yeah, I'll wear your name on my tri suit. Yeah. So that unfortunately that is and it's still the engine. Like that's my thought has always been like I want to see as good as I can get with the gear that I have before I start upgrading that stuff. Like so um but yeah, so then got to the run, and the run course was actually a little different than last year. So last year was fairly flat, like no real hills to speak of. Um, I knew when we went out of transition that the run course was different because we got on a like just ran through grass. I was like, oh, this is going to get interesting. Um, and then took off like down this backcountry road, which was pretty flat. But then we went screaming downhill. I was like, this is not going to be good. It's an out and back, so we're going to have to come up this hill at like mile 2.5 ish. So opened up probably around like 6:30 something was my first mile, and felt fairly okay. That's kind of where I was hoping to be, was around like the 6:30s, maybe a little faster. Um, and then just kind of started to fade. Like I think it was like 6:45, 6:47 ish for the second mile, and then I think I crept over 7 minutes for the last mile.
Wow.
With a couple of hills.
650 average.
I think it was a 6:51. I think it was what ended up being the average.
So hoping for a 640, I think.
Hopefully even faster, but yeah, that's I would
like going into it, you were hoping for that.
Yeah.
But you pushed the bike.
Mm-hmm. So I think last year I was like like 6:47s, I think is what I ran last year. So all in all, ended up being 4 minutes faster total than I was last year, which was great on a similar course, a little bit different run, harder run, I would say for sure. So yeah, I think I'm in a good spot heading into the next like 6 weeks of training. As far as like where I want to get to, like I said, for the swim, hoping to be under 12 minutes. Bike wise, if I could be closer to like 22.5, 23-ish, which is going to be a big push.
Okay.
I'll tell you how I plan to get there.
Yeah.
And then run close to 20 minutes for the 5K. If I can be just under, that would be great. But if I can be right around 20 minutes, that would be the goal.
Okay.
So as far as like training goes, like what my game plan is, I need to bike more. That's my biggest weakness comparatively. And I think the reason why I ran 650s versus last year 647s, I think I'm in much better run shape. I mean, just based on our running workouts, like I know I'm in better run shape. But it's the bike. Like I think the bike took more out of me than it should have, and so I think building some more strength on the bike is going to be the key piece to being able to bike faster and run faster.
Yep.
So
those brick workouts.
Yeah. So I think that's a big piece. Like I'll go through my week as far as like what the next 6 weeks are going to look like. Mondays are going to be a hard bike ride. Be alternating between like VO2 max intervals, which will be anywhere from probably 2 to 4 minutes at a time, and threshold. So, which is about so if you in cycling they have like FTP, which is like functional threshold power, like what you can hold for about an hour or so. So right now I'm around like 260-ish watts. So most of those intervals will be around there, starting at probably 5 or 6 minutes and hopefully going all the way up to like 10 or 12 minutes at a time. But that'll be Mondays. And then hopefully we'll get a strength workout in that day as well for like, I just do a total body strength day that day. And usually what that looks like is just hitting some of the major muscle groups. I'll squat or deadlift. I will do some type of upper body, usually pull-ups, and some type of like either dumbbell bench or overhead press, push, pull, hinge, squat. It's kind of like what I shoot for. So fairly simple, fairly straightforward, but I think that strength piece is important for me from an injury standpoint and just like feeling good overall. So that'll be Monday, hard bike ride, total body lift. Tuesday will be an easy run, 8-ish miles or so, hopefully with you. Wednesday will be a hard swim, and I'm again going to alternate between threshold and VO2 for those. And then in an upper body strength day or more of a total body, same thing, but with kind of an upper body focus. Thursday will be our hard track workout. Friday will be like an easy ride and more of like a technique-ish based swim, just volume, easy aerobic volume. Saturday will be a brick, so longer bike with some intervals and run off. And then Sunday will be off, hopefully. So
I don't think Sundays have been off for me too.
Yeah. So it'll end up being like 3 bikes a week, 3 runs a week, 2 swims, 2 strength sessions.
Going to be around 24 miles running.
Yeah, 20 to 24.
20 to 24.
Yeah, depending on how long that brick run is.
Yeah.
My plan there is to alternate between like a easier, longer run off the bike. And then every other week I'm going to do like faster than race pace, like short 200, 400s off the bike. Just for that like neuromuscular stimulus of like, here's what it feels like to run fast after riding hard and long. So that's kind of the game plan.
Yeah.
But heavy emphasis on quality workouts on the bike, a little more bike volume. Running will take a little bit of a backseat from a volume standpoint for the time being. And then once we get through this race, I'll get back into full-blown half marathon prep where running is the focus again. But that's the game plan.
Yeah. So, well, I think it's cool just that these Thursday workouts, they are geared towards half and full, but really if you're doing a 5K, a 10K, like they're good for that too.
Yeah. I mean, if we're looking at pace-wise, like if I'm trying to run, I mean, like 6:30-ish is kind of my goal. That is probably like high end of critical velocity, low end of threshold for me.
Yep.
Like I'm probably somewhere between 6:30 and 6:40 for threshold pace right now. Anywhere from 6:20 to 6:30 for critical velocity.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
So these workouts will fit right. I mean, they'll be essentially race pace workouts for me, which I think will translate well. And then I'll hit some of the I know something about myself is like for most things, but running specifically, like I need that top end work to stay, even if it's like 200s or a little bit shorter even. Biomechanically, turnover wise, like I respond well to strides and 200s and things like that.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Which leads us into next week.
Yeah.
So just program that. We're going to lead with, we kind of went back and forth a little bit of the original thought was 6 to 8 times 1Ks, 1 minute rest, like we did today at critical velocity. And then since then, we've backed it off to 4 to 6 times. Reason being is we'll progress over the next 16 weeks where we'll hit this 3 total times where it's going to be 6 week 1, and then at a later date we're going to work up to 8 and then eventually hit 10 times 1K, where it was 8, 10, 12. But again, I think it's just going to be possibly too much overkill. Again, for me specifically, the long run being the most important thing. And I just feel like that maybe is too much critical velocity volume.
Yeah.
So I think we start at 4 to 6 based off how comfortable you are and, the volume that you want to do. But at the end of the day, 6K
Yeah.
at critical velocity is going to be moving.
Mm-hmm.
So that is week 1.
Yeah.
Anything else
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, it's been an action-packed week. I've been looking forward to just we've like talked all week, but we haven't dove into like
we
specific. We tried to save it for today.
We ran together on Monday, and I had so many questions about the weekend.
That was the most silent we've been on the run.
I was like, I have so much to say, but I don't want to say it because I want to be able to have this conversation on Thursday. But no, it's good. So screw it, a good 3-week bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great turnout for the 1-year anniversary, which was awesome. Thank you everybody that did show up and continue to support the community and the effort and what we're trying to do as a group of dads. And with that,
yeah, and I think again, like, if you're not in the Columbus area, you're not somebody coming out to these track workouts, like, we want this to be a community for folks that are just, living the same things or doing the same things that we're doing. Like, need that community of folks getting after some type of goal. It can be, a 5K, it can be a full marathon, it can be a triathlon. But that's really like what this is for, is just to like talk through what our experiences are being dads, training for these races, like what life looks like from that standpoint. So yeah, feel free to drop your workouts to us, like what you did that week to be a dadletic.
Yeah, that and so also, if you have questions, feel free to ask away, or different things you want us to possibly talk about on future episodes. Obviously, we're willing to navigate those comments and hopefully give you guys what you want. I think we have a whole list of things, but next week we'll kind of dive into week 2 workout, how these 1Ks went for the group.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get into some nutrition.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, I think we can definitely touch on that. There'll be lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about. So.
Life and otherwise.
That's right. All right. With that, week 2 is done. And
yeah, like and subscribe.
Share it to your friends. Send it to your mom. Send it to your dad.
That's right.
So with that, until next time.
Take care.
See ya.